Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Channel BK. My name is Brian. You're probably confused if you're one of the few fans of the Warren Rascals. No, this is not a Warren Rascals video, but Erik is here.
I
And
am
as you
here.
can tell by his shirt and obviously the title of the video, we're here with a rank 'em. My Chemical Romance has 4 albums, and they also have their conventional weapons, and there's B-sides. But here's the thing.
And the Mad Cats or whatever that they just released.
Yes. So there's a lot. There's those albums, but I feel like most people's rankings of those albums are genuinely the same, generally the same. I feel like kind of is the same, but there's more songs. So we're doing songs.
There's a
And
lot of songs.
this is the technically this is the reunion we've been waiting 3 years for now. And it's been a thing, and then it's been waiting because of COVID, but we're here. We got new music too. That means we're hopefully getting a new album. So we thought we'd celebrate MCR, which is a joint band that Erik and I both really love. He actually got me into them because when Black Parade came out, I loved it and I wanted to hear Black Parade. So he let me borrow the CD copy, which then my dad bought me a copy. I'm trying to think, did you have the copy with the black cover?
Yes.
With the white text. Okay, so I have the regular one. I don't know if the case got ruined in the flood and it's in my CD.
It wouldn't be a video with us if Maylene didn't invade for a second.
So we are gonna say this. Any
our
song
opinions are facts.
Yes, our opinions are here's the thing. Erik is gonna have a different opinion. I'll have a different opinion, but if any of your opinions are different than one of ours, then they're wrong. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna do as we always do. We're gonna do 10 through 7, then we're gonna do 6 through 4, then 3 through 1. Any song is on the table. This is B-sides. This is one-offs.
It could unreleased tracks.
It could be the new song. It can fucking be, as I told with Erik, I was joking. Every snowflake is different from Yo Gabba Gabba. So, it could be any song of theirs that was officially at least on a thing. You know, Bury Me in Black, stuff like that.
Yeah, 0 Hour.
Yeah. So we'll see. Will any of those make it? Maybe. If not, plot twist. Okay, so we're gonna get into our list. This is probably, quite frankly, the worst list to keep from any of my guests because Erik and I have been talking about our list.
I literally have told him to shut the fuck up.
And then he tells me to shut up, and then he starts to be like, well, so I was counting, and there's this many on this album, this many on this. So him and I know like 10% of each other's list. Like, I think we have like a general idea, but we're like, what is it? So I'm going to get into number 10, which is actually the hardest song to put on. 10 and 9 kept changing. I will say, honorable mentions I'm going to throw out there. I really like The Kids from Yesterday. I really like Vampire Money. I will say, unfortunately, spoiler, none of their first album is on my list. That's not a bad thing. I don't want it's just their first album was never an album that really, it was mainly brought to me once I really got into their stuff. So there's not a lot of songs on there that I go back and revisit. There are some good tracks. But number 10, from what I did researching wise, is like, I don't want to say a cult classic, but it's kind of cultish, hardcore MCR fans like favorite song. Like, and I can understand why. And number 10 is the penultimate track off their second album, Cemetery Drive. I mean, the song content-wise is probably the most depressing song they've ever written. And obviously with the concept of the album and the lyrics and the vivid painting, and obviously Gerard's way of, performing the song is gripping, but it also like is really depressing. And it definitely has that, like, a lot of their second album with like the drums, there's kind of a roughness to them, which I really like. I love the guitars on here. And it's one of those tracks where the way he builds it with the lyrics, and it's one of those songs where, again, the whole album kind of leads to this moment. And when it gets to that chorus, it's such a huge sweep of the vocals, and he's just really infectious on it, but like in a really bad way, because it's a really depressing song. But yeah, this made it on here. I think it's just, when I started, I had like my 7 songs that I was thinking about, and this was one of the few that kept me going, like, I want to go back to that. But so yeah, Cemetery Drive is number 10. Number 9 is another song from Three Cheers. And this song is probably one of the best constructed songs I think they put together, in terms of the way Gerard goes from his vocalization, the way he's singing, and even from the riffs and the drums. Thank You for the Venom. This song is so fucking dope. Like, the way at the beginning he's like kind of rap singing, he's like, like, it's so cool. The way it builds to the chorus is great. I love the chorus on here. I love the way Gerard writes the chorus. Give me all your poison, give me all your pills. Like, I love the fire at will part. I think that lyric as a way to it's like, the way he wrote that is a simple way to say, like, hey, do what you want or whatever. So that one lyric is so simple, yet it's so like, holy shit, that is so good. I love the guitar near the end, the little guitar solo at the end. And the way it cuts quietly, and then it's like, nah, nah, nah. Like, I love that part too. Yeah, Thank You for the Venom. Just a great song. Like, this is where they went for that kind of big bombastic rock sound that they followed up with on the Black Parade, and it's a great song. Erik, we're gonna take it down now. We are on 11 for these last 2 songs, mainly the last song. We're gonna go down.
We're at number 9.
Well, we're on number 8, and it's a great
we're going down to number
song. But it's not really a great song, because, again, subject matter, and it's my zodiac sign, Cancer. It's number 8. I will say, there's really not a lot of songs on this list. We had this conversation already, where I think there's at least a few song placements on here where I go, I have to have this song in some way. Even if Cancer's not one of the most replayable songs of theirs, it's one of the few where they've done a song like this, where it's the piano and the way Gerard's singing. And I think this is one of the most vulnerable times. And it's funny, because it's not personable. Like, it's not about him. It's a story. But it makes you feel like this is Gerard singing about himself. That's how well put together the song is. And I love when the strings come in, and I just love the way, and it's such a short song, but weirdly enough, it feels like it's 4 minutes long. That's how well crafted the song is. It's not a song that feels long where you're like, oh my God, can you get done already? It's more of, it just feels like there's so much, and the journey it takes you on. And this is obviously this is kind of the turning point on the Black Parade too, from a story perspective, where, this is where he's like, yeah, like, I'm getting soggy from the chemo. I love that line too. The way, again, it's like unapologetic. Like, just the fact that he even uses soggy is like such a, like, it just to describe it, it's heart-wrenching, and the imagery of it is great. Yeah, but Cancer's shout out. No, I'm just but yes, Cancer is number 8. It's a great song, but we have to turn it back up for number 7. The candles, would you drink the water? Boy Division, the opening song off of their 5 EP Conventional Weapons project. This song to me is one of the most well-rounded songs when it comes to the group, in terms of the way it changes up, the catchiness of it, the punchiness of it, the like the fast pace of it, but then even in the lyrics, in the way he's performing it, like I told Erik this, you can feel the attitude and the sass of Gerard singing this, and I love it. And that again is one of the best parts when you get to certain songs like this of MCR, where Gerard's a great singer, and I'm not saying he's not good at inflecting that, but just listening to the way he performs this, it's not even performed like he's not like, oh, nah, nah, nah. Like he's not singing in like a sassy way. It's just the way the lyrics are formed and the way he's like pronouncing it. You could just see him giving this attitude in the performance, and that's awesome to me. There's nothing else about the song. It just is such a great, it captures so much of what MCR does well in such a straightforward, punchy manner. And yeah, Boy Division caps it off at number 7. My number 7. That's my 10 through 7. Erik?
10 through 7.
And I am telling you right now, I love all the rankums. I love every rankum that I do. I really do.
But this is my favorite.
I honestly, I think this is the most excited. When I do Spider-Man movies with Christian, or when I did Star Wars with Costa, I kind of felt like I kind of had an idea, and there's really not that much because you're ranking the same 9 things. There's 50 plus songs. So I don't know what in the world that you're going to do. And I've already been thinking about your hot takes. So I'm ready to hear your number 10 through 7.
Just a couple quick shout outs to some songs that were close. We're gonna give a shout out to Give 'Em Hell Kid. It's a really fun song.
Yes.
Really enjoyed listening to that one. The original one of the original rough mixes, Emily. I'm a really big fan of that fucking song. Especially what it turned into.
Yes.
And finally, my baby boy, the one I used to use for some of my intros for my old channel, Scarecrow.
It didn't make it. That's when you know.
A lot of people don't like that song. I'm a big supporter of Scarecrow. Especially when they played it live, I was like, let's fucking go.
Well, but yeah, you know my opinion on Danger Days. I don't think Danger Days deserves all the hate, but that second half of that album is so good. I love the second half. I think it's better than the first half.
Anywho, number 10. Number 10. Brian, this elevator only goes up to 10 to the end.
Oh,
to the end from 3 Cheers.
Very good.
So basically,
took me a second.
This is a weird one because basically the song is a play off of a story that they did. Like it's called The Rose of Emily, I believe. And it's basically about how this woman just poisons her husband. And basically how this marriage is falling about. Things like that. It just starts off like with the nice little guitar riff, and then right before it gets into the chorus, it just goes, "Let's get down this elevator, it goes up to 10," and you're like, "Oh, here we go." It's just a fun song about just murdering someone. Don't you just ever think about that? Just having a nice groove while you're murdering your husband, thinking about which poison you're going to use.
That sounds like
all the cyanide
thing.
you take. All the cyanide you take, Brian. Come on. No, it's such a fun song, and then the little drum before the freaking chorus, and then it just starts ripping and basically just plotting about how to murder this dude and not even caring about it. You're just like, I just want to get rid of him. You're like, Jesus Christ. This woman's crazy. To the end, she's crazy. Anywho, number 9. For enemies to a party, would you like? Boy Division. Oh my God, Boy Division. It has been a long time since I listened to conventionals, and so I put it on, and I just forget how it goes from 0 to 1,000 in just 2 seconds.
Yeah,
and you're just like, fuck. I agree with a lot of the points that you're saying and all that stuff. I just want to bring back to the lyrics about how really it is just about. It is about a division, but the division's more about like a division of like a substance abuse, because apparently Gerard, when he was writing this, was mainly about a little bit about his alcohol problems, because we all have some of those from time to time. and how it pulled things apart. And then of course one of my favorite lines is, "I'm not dead, I only dress that way," playing on themselves because they're always in these like, oh, gothic attires and things like that. It's just like, no, we just like wearing that stuff. I'm not dead. Well, I just want to die. That's all. But it's some of the just most energetic stuff about some messed up crap. And I mean, at the key, that is a lot of My Chemical Romance. It's just you're having a lot of fun about stuff that isn't fun.
Yeah.
It's big yikes. But we enjoy it at the same time. That's number 9, Boy Division. Number 8, I don't have a fun pun for number 8. I didn't have a fun number 9 anyway, but we will get back to those. But because number 8 is actually kind of serious in a sense. Disenchanted from the Black Parade. It really, it's just basically, the penultimate right before the end of the album.
Mhm.
And it's just going over the patient's life and going through his memories and being like, did I really have the best life? Was it really all that grand? Were people actually supporting me? Or was it really just a joke? And he's just going through it, just being like this. And when Gerard sings, "You're just a sad song with nothing to say," it's like, did nothing matter to me at all? Did anything I do affect anyone and things like that? It's so heart wrenching.
Yeah.
And so just it tugs at you. And the way it opens with just that acoustic little riff, you're like, this is so weird. And I always, when I first listened to the album, I didn't appreciate Disenchanted. I did not. I was like, this is weird. This sounds a little off. Why is it like towards the end of the album? But once you like start digging deeper into the meanings behind it and just especially when you again, in the prolapse of the entire album is one story, it makes sense on why its placement is there
Yeah.
and what part of the story it's trying to tell. It's one of their better ballads, I would say, if we're speaking of it, because it's more of a ballad. And we'll get more into ballads later, I'm sure, between your and mine list.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about your list, but at least for my list, there's a couple more ballads. But Disenchanted, number 8. Number 7, Brian. Number 7. Oh, number 7. Speaking of ballads, Demolition Lovers from I Brought You Bullets. Uh, Listening to Bullets is very interesting. Again, it makes sense for why not makes sense for you why you don't have any on your list. Just for me, when talking with you, I can understand why you don't have any songs from Bullets on your list. I get that. Bullets is a very drawn out album, and they were really playing with the storytelling aspects.
Yeah.
And this one definitely hit you with the story for sure towards the end. And for it to be the end album, it's the 6-minute long ballad about the Demolition Lovers. That's all this album has been leading up to, because the story is about these two lovers that fucking don't deserve each other. The relationship is not healthy, but they would do anything for each other. It makes no sense. And then we finally get down, and literally it starts off hand in mind and look into your icy blues. And then they're about to go on a fucking killing spree. These two crazy psychotic people that just go nuts. And then they just go into town knowing that this is going to be the end, and they're just going to tear it up. And I think my favorite thing about it is, it slowly is building up. It slowly builds up. Then the drums kick in, and then it goes down. And then now finally the guitars riffed in. And it's literally at the end, right after all this guitar solo, as we're falling down in this pool of HUD and as we're touching hands, it's just like, in the end, the lovers are doing what they did, and they're dying doing what they loved, just being together, just causing chaos. And I think that is The storytelling is not my favorite things from my chem, but they do hit for me up there, as you'll hear down the list, that I do appreciate more of a storytelling as long as the musical aspect goes into it. That's why Demolition isn't as high as it is. I don't think it's their best ballad either. We'll get into that later as well. But I think it just stands out with how early on in their career they could make something that's just beautifully tells a story like that, and how especially how the album ends towards this as well. And that's number 6. Or yeah, number 6.
Number 7.
7. You're right.
You're
We're gonna get
close.
into number 6.
I do agree with you a lot about the first album too, where like I think my issue, like you were saying, it's not an issue, it's just more of it's your first album, is musically it's very ambitious, but I feel like a lot of the times it's kind of messy. Like a song like Head First for Halos, I like. It's kind of like it feels a little like you should have maybe tried to record it again, but the
Some of them
energy
do
in
sound
the
like they are rough one throughs, like they did it one time and you're like, that's it.
yeah, like I definitely think, like you said, the ambition's there and the spark is there, and so that, and it gets rounded out on Three Cheers, which was the not even supposed to be a segue, but it is because we're going back to that album.
Three Cheers
At number 6. So just like you, when I was going through the songs again, I was like, I told Erik what I did is off top, I said there are 5 or 6 songs I can think of right now that I'm like, this has to be on here. I do not know how this song never came to my mind, because it was a song that I always remember really liking. And going to what you said, it's a ballad, but it's kind of like a power ballad. It's not super soft. It has its huge chorus, and this is definitely one of the band's most beloved songs. And I think you know
I know
what
where
that
we're
song
going with
is.
this. We know where we're going
Oh,
with
the
this.
last thing I see, never coming home, never coming home. The Ghost of You. I just love the way, I think the build, weirdly enough, makes the chorus great, because the chorus is big and it's sweeping, but the build I think is better, and I think that's why the song is so good. Is because in a lot of songs, I mean, I guess that's kind of the joke with like EDM. When's the bass gonna drop? When's the beat gonna drop? But like on this song, I kind of like the build. The build, just the very just gorgeous guitars on it, and how hit, like they're mesmerizing and atmospheric sounding, and just the way it's so funny too to me that their music video for it is a like a World War II video, because it sounds like he's singing it kind of as like this old school, like you're at a dance and he's like, I really love it. This is like one of the few times on this album where there's kind of that beautiful levity. It's still a depressing song, but it's depressing in a way that's more like, it's not like, yeah, like Cemetery Drive. Wow, yep, she's dead. And I miss her. This song's like, I want you, and it like it's uplifting sad, like, and which is really funny to me. But I just love the way it's mixed too. I think it's really good. And yeah, I love Ghost of You. Ghost of You. Damn it. Number 5, we get to Danger Days.
Oh, here we go.
And if we're talking about experimental, this is probably one of the most experimental songs they've done, and I think one of the most successful attempts at it. So, Erik, you don't believe in God, but I don't believe in luck. They don't believe in us. But you know what I think? I know we're the enemy. Destroyer, destroyer. The fucking drums on this song are so fucking awesome. I love it. The energy on this song. So here's the thing. So this was going back to the Danger Days thing. I think the first half, there's some okay songs on there, but I did not. Obviously, this is when Gerard started becoming the comic book writer part of him, right? This, to me, this song sounds like what I wish Planetary Go was. This song has energy. It's raw, but it definitely has that kind of sheen and that like glistening to it because it's very poppy, but it has just that raw energy. Like every time it goes into the next verse and it's that just the drum and it's boom, 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 boom. It's so good. And just oh my god, this song is just so good. Like it every time it comes on, I'm like, this song is a fucking banger. This song is a banger. But yes, Destroya. I love this
Destroya.
Destroya. Number 4, we have to get this song out of the way at some point. I don't know if it's going to be on your list, but I feel like this is kind of a song you should have on your top 10 MCR songs because I think it's like you're going to get killed, but who knows? Maybe this is the song that you don't have on your list. It's the OG, man. Black Parade. The Black Parade. And number 4, I don't know if that face is it should be higher or lower, or yeah, this song's not on my list and I can't wait to not say it. So we'll get to that. As much as this song, so there are 2 more songs that I don't want to mention because I still have 3 more. But there's 2 other songs of theirs that are very big and very popular that I will be honest, I can't stand anymore. And I don't like them. And if they're on, it's fine. Like I'm not like gonna turn it off. But
while he's live at the concert, he's not gonna go out and turn off the speaker.
I'm not gonna walk up to the front and be like, "Can you go to another song? We don't need the Gerard, stop the song, move on." But I think out of all of them, Black Parade is still the one that every time I listen to it, I'm like, this song really is just it when it comes to experimental. The song is like their Bohemian Rhapsody. All those comments we heard. I just think this song from a performance, like this is their rock opera album, and this song is Scarecrow. Gerard went on to talk about how that is the song on Danger Days. Like that is the song that is built around the album. It's obvious this song is like built from what this album is. This and like Mama are kind of the 2 most like, this is what this album's trying to be. Because that song is very theatrical and it's very over the top too. The song is just so well written and the way it's performed in each part of the song it gets to. And honestly, I'm not going to front. This song's been out now for 16 years, 17 years.
17.
Every fucking time it transitions into the wham, I still get like, oh my God. I still get excited.
Where did this come from? Where did this come from?
It's like it's the first time I'm hearing the song. Like, what?
I thought I was dying. Why am I going to a rave?
Music video's dope for it too. But yeah, I don't want to say too much more because it's very much a, you know. But I don't think it's on the list just because of that. Like, I also want that to be out there. It's on it partially because I feel like it's like a responsibility thing. And again, I'm saying this and I'm wondering in your head if you're like, yeah, sure. Or if you're like, you're playing me out. But we'll see. But we'll see. I still think it's a phenomenal song. Like, I do not think it's overrated. I still think it's great. I hate listening to the radio version because it's shortened and I'm like, no, we got to play the whole version. So yeah, that's my 6 through 4. Kind of some ones you would expect. And then Destroya came in and it was like, whoa, Destroya. So I'm ready. We're getting into our top now. So 6 through 4.
All right, number 6 for me. We're gonna stick to the realm of the Black Parade, actually. Not the song though. Um, you know, if you're gonna end an album, I guess you better say it's your famous last words.
Well, I was gonna think you might bleed out before the end of the album.
Jeez, calm down. I get that. I know that one. Anywho, famous last words. From the fact that when this album first came out, this is the song that stuck out to me the most. It was always my favorite off the album. Is it still? We'll find out on the rest of this list. But we're going to talk about famous last words right now. I think that's the way that it starts out with that build up and him talking about being like, okay, you're officially passing on. It is your time to go. And I don't want you to, speaking to the patient, but I get it. The cancer's taking over. There's not much you can do, but I just want to hear what else you have to say. What is left that you have to say? And then it goes it just kicks off, and you're just like, all right, I can die now. And
No, there's still more to the song.
I know. And then the chanting goes, I'm not afraid to keep on living. I'm not afraid to walk this world alone. If you can stay, you'll be forgiven. Nothing you can say can stop me going home, as in, I guess, heaven or hell,
Yes.
figure that out. And, just going through, and it's getting louder, and you're just like, I'm a jet black, stone cold hero. And arms so weak, and you're just like, oof. It's chilling, as it's just like you can tell the body's decaying. Oof. And then it gets towards the end, and it just goes back to that beginning like riff of, I see you lying next to me with words I thought I'd never speak. Awake, unafraid, asleep, or dead, not knowing if that person has just passed on, knowing that they really have passed on. And then it just builds up, builds up, and builds up. It's something that stuck out to me all these years later, 16 years later, because it was released in 2006 along with the album. I think it dropped beforehand. Fun fact about that music video, the fire in the background, did you know that was the float in the Black Parade music video? They just set it on fire. But number 6, yeah, famous last words. But this won't be my famous last words, because we got to move on to number 5, and we're gonna go back to being depressing. This is it's just because it's a tough matter to talk about with the wording of the song and everything that goes into it. Not really going to try to joke around everything talking about it, because song is about like suicide and things like that, and trying to understand why someone would try to pass on and do something like that. It's gonna go to The Light Behind Your Eyes. This is their best ballad, if we could say ballad, not a power ballad or anything like that. This is their best ballad, in my opinion. It generally just beats down on you about, God, this person has passed on, but why did they have to? Why couldn't we do anything about that? If I could sing, if I could, God, if I could be with you tonight, I would sing you to sleep. Never let them take the light behind your eyes, knowing that all this stuff is going on behind them, but it's too late for that moment. You just want them to be here, and it's just so rough and tough for them, knowing that they're gone. And just Gerard really just sells it. That's the thing too. Like, you can clearly tell that something happened, that he was like, I can't. And then towards the end, it just finally builds up to that big just scream that you can tell, because you just finally just like, you can't handle the fact that this person's gone. You just got to kind of scream it out and be like, I miss this person being here. And it sucks. I hate that. But it's generally just something that I can go back to when I'm feeling down and be like, yeah, I can understand that. I get that. It really is Gerard's fucking voice that really sells it for me for that one. Number 5, light behind your eyes. Let's go to not something depressing. For number 4, my number 4. Thank you for the Venom, Brian.
Nice.
Yeah. No, yeah. Number 4. Thank you for the Venom. Much more upbeat song, clearly. Even though it really is, fucking about death. I mean, what's life like bleeding on the floor? You know what I mean? The guitar riffs, they really do pull out, especially going into that pre-chorus and then going into the chorus. It's just that little bit, and then so give me all your poison.
It goes the way that the way that guitar almost is like perfectly with Gerard's voice. Like when he changes in the pre-chorus, when he goes to the and the guitar it's so good.
And of course, his rap rock, I really prefer more the second verse than I do the first verse. Hallelujah, lock and load. I really love it when they sing about guns and things like that. It's weird. But I mean, I again, the wordplay is really strong here too. It's really the guitar riffs that really sell me. I think this is some of the best riffing that they've done with the playing with the lyrics as well. And that's why I think it really stands out than a lot more other songs that MCR does. Not saying, again, other songs aren't as good because their guitar riffs aren't as strong. It's just this one just stands out. You could just distinctly tell, like if you played just the guitar riffs, you could just tell it's Thank You for the Venom. Also, I love that little bit of intro where it just pauses for a second before getting back into guitar riffs. And then there you go. It's like, gotta give it a small break before we get you into the more fun. Yeah, number 4, Thank You for the Venom. Kind of sad that you had it so low on your list. I guess it'd be low, not high.
I was gonna
but
say,
it is what it is.
Shocking. Well, not shocking in like a bad way. Very interesting. We've already had. We don't know what our top 3 are, but so far there's 2 specific ones that are like on each other's list, and
Yeah,
I would say it's 2 pretty good ones, but it's about to be 3. My number 3.
Oh boy.
Number 3. I will be honest. Number 3, 2 of the top 3, I would say maybe normie picks, but I will divulge and talk and discuss why I think they're so great. Number 3 is Famous Last Words. So I agree with you on that. I think my favorite ending to any of their albums, it's like one of the first times on the album where it's a song that is definitely big and like not over the top. It's very dramatic, but it's like the one song on the album, like every song on the album, I feel like you can listen to it and go, yeah, they did this on purpose. Like Dead is super riffy, over the top. Mama, over the top. Black Parade, over the top. This is the one time where like the song is the most, it takes itself seriously, but it's not like even Cancer, the way he kind of has his little whiny tone and like how he's approaching it, there could be a little bit in there where you're like, this is the one time where it's like, it's very just, you kind of forget that it is the kind of song that it is because it's just so like, the moment, like you said, the moment it starts, you're just kind of like, oh, okay. Okay.
No,
like
I'm,
you're like,
I'm sitting. I'm
you're
sitting
like,
now.
okay, Gerard, what? Okay, I'm listening. And like you said, there's something in the way people can write lyrics where the perfect combination of something that's like really well like written poetically and like not straight to the point, And then the way it ends with, like you said, I'm not afraid to keep on living. I'm not afraid to walk this world alone. That is such a great mix of like what people would normally write, but also in a poetic way where it's like the way he combines that on this song, it's just so like, and even watching the music video, I get those emotions. Like there's the one part I'm trying to remember if it was Mikey or if it was Frank, where like I think it's Frank, where he's like laying after he smashes his guitar and he just kind of leans and he does that like, that's how I feel on this song. Is like you feel so like empowered, but the journey you go through on this album is so just like, man, this was a lot, but like, let's go. Like and it's beautiful. Like I get all emotional every time I hear this song. But at number 2 is, in my opinion, the best MCR single. Go, go, go. Just like the hearts you die to get in again. So far. Yeah. Helena. Listen, again, we talk about big songs from artists, and I think it's just one of those cases of like, it is what it is. Like, if you like one of those songs, I still think this song is, again, like Black Parade. I think it's hella underrated. I still don't think it's overrated. I think every time I listen to it, it's just, it's intense. I love the way it drives. I love the breakdown on the chorus. I love the part where it sounds like he's fucking playing, because it's about his grandmother. And like it sounds like it's her from the grave, like talking to them with the like with like kind of that weird like the muffled vocals. It's what's the worst that I could say. This is such a great mix of like that power rock, but pop punk, and it's like the emo elements on it, and it's like it's such a great mix of like a lot of what they've done. And it's so just, it's great.
It's probably their best music video as well.
And it's, yes, I would say it's their best music video. This song, again, I think it's their best single. And the fact that this opens up that album, coming from, if I was listening to their first album and I was kind of like, okay, this has potential, and then this is the first fucking song I hear on this album, I'd be like, what is happening? What is going on? But I'm very excited that my number 1 is a song that is a very like, oh, okay. Because then it gives me more to talk about, because it's not a song. It's not like a song people think is bad. It's just definitely one of those ones that like, you don't get people like me that are like, I love this song. It's my favorite. It's my favorite, okay? Chef's Kiss. There's really no reason why this song is definitely my number 1. It's just kind of the song of theirs I play the most. Like anytime I need to play an MCR song, this is usually one of the like first ones I play. I think this song has everything. It is straight up. It has really great intricacies. It has a great guitar solo. It has Gerard playing a character. It has him being sassy. It has him doing these big vocals. I think this is some of the best lyricism that he's ever done. The way he puts this song together, the slow build to the huge chorus, the 4th song off of the Black Parade, The Sharpest Lives. This song is everything, in my opinion, that an MCR song can give you. I think everything about this song, from the storytelling to just let's light a thing, to burn all the empires so bright that the sun is ashamed to rise and be. Tell me what lyric is harder than that. That shit is so fucking tight. Holy shit. This song,
I don't know. I'm more of a fan of drop the dagger and rub rather the blood on your hands, Romeo.
again, he's playing this character. He's being all like
He's
over the
evil.
top dramatic. He's
evil.
evil. And like, and I'm telling you, and I'm not saying this to be funny, like I'm being genuine. The part right before the chorus, the way, like, and it's in the way that it's said, it's obvious why it's performed like this, I think. But the way it's performed, it's not like, haha, I see what you did there. It's more like, okay, so why don't you blow me a kiss before you go? It's so like, I see what you did there. I saw why you stopped, but that was kind of clever. Like, it's so, again, it's just the attitude and like the way Gerard knows, like he's giving you a wink wink, but then he's pulling the rug out from under you. Like, no. Like, it's so, and just the whole idea where like you were talking about the Black Parade conceptually, and this is the part of the album where like he's going into what his life consisted of, you know, and obviously the song deals with alcoholism, and you know there's a lot about, you know, taking a shot and like, you know, give me a shot to remember to take all the pain away from me, right? And this song is kind of divulging into that. And then the sharpest lives are the deadliest to lead. The double entendre, sharpest lives, sharpest knives. Fuck! Oh my god. This song is,
It's pretty good.
Is it the most well like orchestrated? No. But everything the song does, I think is perfect. And it's just, it pulls off something so well too, where like you like Black Parade. I don't think that's a song that like you can just like, it's not one of those, I can't listen to that song all the time. I need to be in a mood. Like that's, I think, one of those like 6-minute songs like Bohemian Rhapsody where it's that good that you can listen to it. But this song is more so like, if you're not in the mood to listen to depressing MCR and you're just like, I want to listen to something that's really like, this is such a perfect song for me. And it's my number one. And I was so excited. And I would have tweeted at them to perform it when they're here in Michigan or Chicago. Because if I hear, da, 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 I'm going to go, I can't, I'm not going to be able to speak. I'm just going to be like, the whole show, I'm just going to be like, okay, you can play teenagers and I'm not okay. I don't care. Play both of them. Play them the rest of the show. As long as you play, if the fact that you're playing Sharpest Lives. By the way, those were the two songs that, throwback, teenagers and I'm not okay. You two aren't terrible, but I'm tired of you. Anyways, that's my number one, Eric. So now I'm so excited.
Oh boy. Yeah, well, I guess I'll take over. Number 3, right? Number 3?
Yes.
Number 3. 3, 2, 1. We came to fuck. Everybody party till the gas man comes. Dude, Vampire Money is so fucking good. I know you said Famous Last Words is your favorite end of an album. I can make the argument that it's still the case. However, I think just Vampire Money is some of the best fucking guitars that they've done. It's just fucking fun.
You want to know something?
I want.
You want to know why? So I don't disagree with you. I really love this as a finisher. My issue is the ending of Danger Days is kind of like a double whammy because they give you the Kids from Yesterday, which is supposed to be kind of like the obvious, we rocked out together, let's finish this strong. But then they still give you the, we're going to go out on a high note. It's got like Vampire Money is like a perfect, like, okay, we got all emotional and shit. Now let's end on like a high note sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It goes back to that like 80s kind of glam rocky sounds too.
I just love the fact that it's like the first, not the it's like the one time that you can hear them acknowledging each other, that they appreciate each other's existence with each other.
How about you, Frank? I'm all right. How are you, Mikey?
Fucking ready. I think I'm all right. 1, 2, 3. It just doesn't stop too. As soon as it starts, it has that little bit of slowdown right before the end, but it still's like 3, 2, 1. We came to fuck. Everybody party to the gas man coming, and then builds back up at the end, and it's just like bang, motherfucker, get back, stone cold, sing it, oh, here, come on, dude. Like, it's just, oh, I mean, they've been playing that at all their shows, but like, that's one that like when it comes on for the show, you're gonna be fucking rocking out, and
Yeah.
it's hard. It's just not often that you hear one of those types of here we're gonna rock out songs from them. It's more like, okay, here's more like the gothicy emo stuff, what,
Yeah.
and that stuff is all good still. We're gonna talk about some more emo stuff in a second. But it's the best guitars and drums that I've heard them perform personally. And that's number 3, Vampire Money. I have a great time with it. Number 2, we're gonna keep the train going along. 2, someone get me to the doctor. Someone call the nurse. Vampires will never hurt you. This is the best fucking storytelling that they've written. This is their second song. Speaking of twos, second song technically off of Bullets, because Romance is just a small little guitar interlude. Whatever. The second song sung on the album. And this is where you found out Gerard has a big thing for vampires. But again, it's the story of the Demolition Lovers about how, trying to protect them from the vampires that are coming. And this is where the wordplay comes alive. And you're just like, it's so the chorus, just someone get me to the doctor, someone get me to the church, but they can never hurt and stay away. And then just all the things about the hearses. Can you stake my heart? Please stake me before the sun goes down. Just begging, because he's protecting her with all his might, and he's slowly turning, but he's also like, I don't want to hurt you. Please kill me. Oh, it's just you hear him begging and pleading, like, please, I've been taken over. They're getting me. It's fucking rough to hear. It is, and it sounds rough. Again, as we talked about with your whole, it's a rough sounding song. And I think that helps it in the case though, because again, it sounds like normal at the start, but you can definitely tell that like once the infection comes in, that's when it sounds rougher. I just, again, it's very much wordplay and coloring your words about, all the vampires and stuff going to hurt them. Again, I'll never let them hurt you. And my favorite thing about it though is the ending of all the little whispers. The snow, the snow. And you're just like, ooh, the vampires are gonna get you. Be careful. It really is I think the best storytelling they've done. Which is weird to say because it's only number 2. My number 1. Yeah, I'm all done with Vampires Will Never Hurt You. Again, it's just that storytelling really solid. But number 1 though, it's weird that this is my number 1 because it's not a song I would have thought about throughout all this time, because it's not really on an album. It's on a B-side of an album, And I think the reason why it's my number 1 is just because it takes in the culmination of all the storytelling and build up, and then also the playing with the guitars and the drums. Heaven Help Us Now, I think, is just such a solid, great time, interesting retrospective about talking to God and asking, why can't I get into the pearly gates of heaven and being sent down to hell? It's very interesting because it's coming from the patient's perspective of being like, it starts off and you hear the sound, the angels are screaming. It's like, but why are they screaming? Because after this, technically, you would say this song is after Famous Last Words, because he's already passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I hearing the angels scream? Aren't I supposed to be going to heaven? Oh God, I'm going to hell. And now the patient's trying to throw an argument with with God himself. And it's such an interesting and again, this is more of what you expect of My Chemical Romance. This is a song about an argument with God, for God's sakes. And then you get in right after the chorus, come crashing down when you hear the sound as you're falling down to hell. And then the next verse, back to like the sing rapping that we like to talk with Gerard doing a little bit. I'm at this old Montana, can't tell I'm breaking and screaming and or all of the above. I've been crawling at these cathedral steps and screaming, someone save us. And then the guitars pull in, like things like that. But I think it just has a line that just sticks out to me that I just will forever like the fact that I want to get part of this tattooed on me. That's how far it stands out. Give me all the nails you need, cover me in gasoline, wipe away those tears of blood again. Specifically, wipe away those tears of blood again. Because again, this guy's like, do I have to be literal Jesus for me to get accepted into heaven? That's what he's begging. He's like, you're telling me I have to be like Jesus, even though Jesus did wrong things too. He wasn't all perfect, we know, God, but here you are, just because he's your son. Do I have to do the same thing and sacrifice my sins like that? Oh boy. And and clearly just screaming, and it gets louder and louder. And then at the end, the tail end with the guitar riff, and then just again, it's just trying to get this argument in and knowing that he's losing, and it's just descending, as you can tell, descending. Finally being like, give me all the nails you can, cover me in gasoline. And you're just like, that's it. And it ends, and you're like, yeah, that motherfucker didn't get into heaven. And you're just like, oh, but it stands out to me. And I understand again why it wasn't on the initial Black Parade album. It just didn't make sense when you already ended it so strongly with Famous Last Words. It's the same case with Kill All Your Friends. That's a great song. Not on the list, clearly, but
when you kept talking, I was like, I think it's gonna be Kill All Your Friends. And then when you said what you said, I was like, oh, okay, I guess not. Because that was the one I was expecting. That's also a very like deep cut appreciation one.
Yeah. But again, when I think My Chemical Romance song, what is more emo and wants to get separated from everything rather than an argument with God? So heaven help us. My number one, surely no one else's number one, but here we are.
But that's what makes both of our lists special, is both of our number ones are not, we could have had teenagers at number one.
Yeah, they're not
teenagers.
Singles. And it's funny when you mentioned the Black Parade being like, is it going to be on your list? I'm like, here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. Black Parade, it will stand out for the test of time. But just like you said, it's their Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody is not in my top 10 favorite Queen songs either, as much as I love it.
Put your list below if you have lists. Do you agree with some of ours? Do you disagree? Are your list 10 completely different songs? That would be fascinating. That would be fascinating. I want to see somebody with none of our songs on it. That would be difficult because half of the singles are on mine. So it's like,
and don't get me wrong, Helena was also very high up there, but there's just other songs. God, I'm just thinking back to your list again, though. Fuck. Yeah, Helena was definitely, very close. Sharpest Lives, again, that's also very close, too.
I have other rankums on here. Check out my Spider-Man movies and my Kendrick Lamar album rankum. I have more rankums coming out for the rest of the year. One in October and November, most likely, so I'm excited for that.
Oh, they spooky?
Actually, no, they're not. The October one's not actually spooky, which is funny. It's another music one, but it's one that Joshua Kirk and I will be doing. But go fucking subscribe to the Warren Rascals if you haven't. That's the channel your boy and I do. We do gaming and we do goofy stuff and we do podcasts. I love it. I can make him uncomfortable as much as he wants or doesn't want, but I fucking love doing the channel with him. It's just as much fun as doing this channel. or even more sometimes. The type of shit we get into is great. So go check that out.
Yeah,
Tell your friends
I love talking to this dude sometimes.
So thank you all so much for watching. And thank you for tuning in to Channel BK. Peace out, everyone. Maylene, say bye. What a jerk.